Hello friends, Coast Chris here. So I wanted to start a dialogue with you all about bikes, and not about motorcycles, but bicycles. And they're so fantastic. I mean, every time I get on one, especially if it's been a while, I'm just like, this is so much fun. You go so many different places, you have so many more options available to you. And in my experience, there's three kinds of bikes. And before I get into those, I just want to say, here on Coast to Chris, we try to cut through all the clutter to get to what you really need to know to get a product that's right for you. So the three types of bikes out there, there's infinite ways to customize them and change them. Make sure to do that. Get a bike that you're gonna love. Get a few bikes that you're gonna love. Because as we continue this discussion, we'll see that there's just so many options out there for you to choose from. And they're fun. They're just fun. So what's great about all the options that you have is there's so many different price points. You can get into bicycles for almost free, probably free. You probably know somebody who's like, here, just have this bike. Or you could spend thousands of dollars, maybe even tens of thousands. I don't know, but I know thousands. I know people who have spent thousands of dollars on a bicycle, and they're just so passionate about it. So we'll be going into detail about some of the major categories, but, sorry, I got an itch. But before we get into all of that, just know that you need to find the bike that's right for you, and nothing else matters. Cut through all the clutter, all the BS, and find a bike that is gonna meet your needs and enjoy it. Just enjoy the experience of riding a bike. It's really fun. I know it's cheesy and I beat it to death, but it's fun. So, the bad thing about having all these choices in the world for bikes is that it's overwhelming. And I had a fantastic time. I'm up here in Madison, Wisconsin, the home of Trek Bicycle. And we went to one of their first stores. And it's their store number one. It's their experimental store. So we went there. We had a fantastic time because the people that work in store number one for Trek Bicycle really know their stuff. And they're just enthused about biking. And that their enthusiasm is contagious. It infected me, and I was like, oh my gosh, I want to buy another bike, even though I just came there to have them repair mine. So, the three major kinds of bikes that pretty much any bicycle manufacturer is going to produce are going to be mountain bikes or trail bikes. You're going to have a road bike, which is on the other spectrum, and then in the middle between those is going to be what they call a hybrid. And so you won't understand what a hybrid is until you know both sides. On one side here, with ruggedness and all sorts of comfort features and features to help absorb the shock of being in a rugged environment, that's going to be your mountain bike. On the other side here, you're going to have super light, slick, sleek, almost delicate, to be honest, road bikes that they're perfect for being on asphalt, on pavement, and they're gonna enable you to travel super fast. And it's honestly incredible what people can do and accomplish on road bikes. But somewhere in the middle, you're gonna have a hybrid, which allows you the most flexibility so that you can go off of asphalt and pavement and not destroy your bicycle and yourself in the process, but still let you go on asphalt and pavement and not struggle because your tires are too thick and too studded and gnarly that you might as well be in grass rather than asphalt. You're not getting any benefit, which is what a true mountain bike might look like. So, I have a hybrid, sort of on the spectrum of a mountain bike, just a little closer to a mountain bike, and I'll show you in some of those features. And then my girlfriend has a hybrid very much on the other end of the hybrid spectrum, closer to a road bike. And it all depends on the features that you have, but I would definitely recommend that you get a hybrid. Unless you know exactly what you're going to be using this bike for, or you intend to buy multiple bikes. I have several friends who buy multiple bikes. They buy a road bike for when they're on the road, and they buy a mountain bike for when they're on a trail, which that would be fantastic. That's honestly, if you can afford it, that's the best. But I know a lot of you don't want to buy multiple bikes. Then get a hybrid. They really work well. And when I got my bike to begin with, I was actually on trails more than I was on pavement. I've since changed some of the features on my bike, which is another great thing about all these options, to allow me to be on the road a little more, which is why I was at Trek, so that they could do those changes for me. So, with that said, our three categories, mountain, hybrid, and road bikes. The major features of those are going to be, for a mountain bike, they're going to have shocks. So they're going to have some way to absorb the shock and the pressure of going over rocks and tree roots, taking turns really tightly. And their tires are going to generally be a little thicker. Probably 2 inches is going to be the thinnest, and then they'll go up from there. And they're going to be rugged. They're going to maybe weigh a little more, but definitely be of just a sturdier build, so it can fall and hit a tree, and it's not going to destroy your bike. It's not going to be delicate. Another thing is you're going to have a straight T-cross handlebar, because that's the most stable. You're not going to have any ability to really, most of the time, have a foregrip like this, and I don't know the official terms, but you're always going to see mountain bikes with a T-grip to really keep you stable, because you're going to be in some sketchy environments on a mountain bike that are super fun but sketchy. So your bike is there as a tool, and they're gonna do the best that they can to keep you safe. So with a road bike, the major features are going to be thin tires. An inch is going to be probably the max you're going to see on a road bike. I've seen some like half an inch, and the road bikers, they get down into like very minute details. So it's gonna be like, wow, mine is like 6/8 hundredths of an inch. I don't know, but they get really detailed with the width of their tires, because the thinner your tire, the less friction you're creating and the less impact you're creating. So the faster you can go, because you can put more, as a human being, more energy into a smaller space, the faster you're going to be able to go. Kind of like an ice skate. Ice skates are really thin. If you can get a really thin tire on your bike, you can put a lot of force into that small amount of area, and you're just going to have an incredibly enjoyable and easier ride on asphalt. You don't want to take that out on the trail, because you have an inch max. It's going to get stuck in places. It's not going to give you a nice stable platform on which to ride. You're going to feel every bump in the road with a road bike. That's why you want to be on a road that's not bumpy, aka asphalt or cement road. And then they're not usually going to have shocks on them. They're usually going to have the ability for you to have both a straight handlebar, crossbar, and foregrip like this, where you can really get nice and comfortable, and it's all about comfort and speed and efficiency. So they're going to be a lot lighter. They're going to be that lightness is going to lend itself to a little bit more delicacy. So you don't want a road bike banging up against trees and rocks and stuff. And then hybrids are going to have features that are similar to both of those. And just like mine and my girlfriend's bike, you're going to find something that's on the spectrum either way. There's not really going to be a hybrid that's just pure hybrid. You have absolutely half of the features of one or the other. You're going to lean more towards either a mountain bike or a road bike. And to be honest, a lot of trails are going to be this kind of like gravel, loose gravel, and hybrids are perfect for that. You get a tire that's about like 1.5 inches, which is like my girlfriend's Trek, and or you get one like mine that's a little wider, that's 2 inches. It depends on how you feel about your ride. If you want a more comfortable ride, you may want a 2-inch tire, but just know that's 2 inches of surface area, and you're gonna have to apply more pressure to move yourself than if you had 1.5 inches or 1 inch or 1/2 inch. And then there's all sorts of different varieties from there. So I hope you found this enjoyable and informative. I'm going to be going through and actually show you my bike, my girlfriend's hybrid bikes, and then take a look at some of the bikes around my complex here, just to show you some different flavors and styles of mountain, hybrid, and road bikes. And to be honest, the ones that I've seen, vast majority of them are hybrids, because it just makes sense if you're going to get one bike to get a hybrid. So I'll see you in that video, and I hope you all have a great day, and stay classy. Don't forget to like and subscribe and check out some merchandise. All right, Coasty Chris out.